Welcome to part 3 of flying text in Animate. In this video we're going to enhance the flying out text using a couple of little tricks. We're going to bunch it up and stretch it out. The first thing we're going to do, you could add a group of frames if you wanted to. We'll just add them one by one. So the first place I'm going to go is go to the frame before the tween and create a keyframe and another one and then one more. So I've got 3 keyframes in a row. It's the last two I'm going to concentrate. I'll get to the second last one, make sure I'm in that frame, the second last frame, and move my anchor point, my flying text, and I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go to my next keyframe before the tween, and I'm going to move my anchor point to the end and stretch it out quite a lot more this time. So the idea is it looks like it stretches out and then the rest tries to catch up with it. Now we're going to go to the keyframes before it slingshots out. And we're going to add a few keyframes in here. And these ones, I'll put my anchor point back at the end there. And we're going to move these ones so it looks like it's contracting before it springs off. So I'll contract it a bit and stretch it up a little bit, move that text up a fraction so it's level. Make another keyframe, function F6 if you've got a Mac keyboard, or if you've got a keyboard just F6. Stretch it and put it a bit taller. So you're trying to keep the volume roughly the same. Yep, maybe another one. F6, function F6 on a Mac laptop. Stretch it, squash it. This time I'm going to show you can also move that anchor point down to the bottom and then stretch it that way as well. There are a couple of different ways of doing this. And then it's perhaps the last one. So that's the last one. I'm going to add a couple of, just before that goes in, I've added an extra frame there. You can see there's a bit of a gap in those frames. The last thing I'm going to do is hit function F5 or F5 and add a group of frames that are just extending the time that it stays in the middle, and then it flies off. Now there's something wrong with that bit where it comes in. I'm not quite happy with it. So I'm going to fiddle around with the easing. The first thing I might do is move the whole lot along. So I click on the first frame, hold the shift key down, click on the last frame, and then drag all of my frames along, which creates a section at the front of the timeline of 50, 60 frames where nothing happens, and then it flies in, breaks, and then flies off. Still not happy about that though. What do I need to do to fix it? Well, I think I might increase the speed at which it breaks. So I'm going to go back into my easing, and this time I'm going to change the easing so it finishes off a lot faster. So I'll go to the first one, drag that down so it's a lot slower to start with, and then make it finish a lot faster. Play that. Yeah, it finishes a lot faster. I think that's a little bit better, but I'm still not happy with it. I will save and apply, because there's one other thing I will do, and that is I'll go back to my initial point in the timeline where my text starts, and I'm going to move it a lot further off the page. And that will give it time to accelerate to quite a speed so that when it slows down, and I play it now, it's really going quite fast, and that gives it that bunched up effect a lot more effectively. So that's looking a lot better now. The last thing I might do if I was doing this, just to show you how far the page, you can make it go a lot further off if you want, but that looks a lot more better. And from this point on, you play around with the size and the shape add a few more frames to give it a bit more time where it's sitting up or something like that. Yeah, you know, you can play around with the animation a lot to make it a little bit more fun. The last thing I might do if it was mine is I would probably add another layer and put some sounds in. For example, a revving car before it starts off, or a screeching brake as it comes to a halt, or a whee as it scoots off the page. Any of those things could make it more interesting and add another dimension to your animation. Thank you for watching and enjoy making it.